I'm actually out here with Greg. I just noticed this rig just walking up here. And Chinese, Japanese?
Japanese. Yeah.
Japanese. Okay. So what is this and what are we looking at?
We're looking at a Land Cruiser Series 75, imported from Japan about 2.5 years ago, and it actually was in-service fire truck in the city of Akai.
Okay.
And here on the side it says Akai Fire Brigade, and that's usually what the fire trucks say out there.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to find this on auction in Japan and
All right.
had it shipped over, and just really enjoy modifying it and making it into my overlanding rig.
So that's a crazy story, right? Like
Yeah.
you bought something all the way from Japan. Like why? Why didn't you just get something here?
Okay, well, so here's the backstory on that. I lived in Australia when I was 16, turned 17, and in Australia, the Series 70 Land Cruiser is really popular, and
yeah,
there's a
it's
lot
big.
of them everywhere.
Yep.
And traybacks, and they call them traybacks when they're flatbeds, and utes and snorkels and all that stuff are really popular. And when I was a kid, there was no internet,
Yeah.
so I'd never seen anything like that. I freaked out at the Aussie style of ute or you know, trayback, whatever you want to call it, and I always wanted one.
Okay.
So later on in life, I started to see these kids driving the Skylines and stuff, and I'm like, how can they do that?
Yeah.
And then I found out about the 25-year import rule
Oh,
and decided,
yeah.
hey, I can get something like that. So I started to search the Japanese websites for, access to the auction network they have out there.
Yeah.
And I started looking at it, looking for a 70 or maybe just a truck trayback, Japanese style four-door like this, 90s Japanese four-door trucks, or, were very big in Australia.
Okay.
So I saw this fire truck and lost my mind.
Yeah.
Told my wife.
And she was like, yeah, that's a totally great idea.
So she thought I was joking, okay? I was a little drunk.
Yeah.
I am at night sometimes. And I'm searching the internet and I see this. And I said, baby, I'm buying this fire truck. And she's used to me saying just weird stuff I don't actually mean.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay, whatever, go ahead. And then the next day, she's like, why are we missing a lot of money from our account? And I said, well, I bought that fire truck I was telling about.
Duh.
Yeah. And so she thought I was getting scammed for a minute, and it turned out I didn't.
Okay.
It showed up in Texas, in Freeport, Texas, and me and my buddies went and picked it up.
All right, and that's the story, and now we got it.
And now we got it.
Japanese fire truck in America.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what do you do with it? Are you a big camper, a hiker? What's
Camping's
going on?
my biggest thing. I like dispersed camping. I like to be able to go to some of the beautiful places here in Colorado that you can get to and be alone, and it's only an hour away.
Yes.
And that's my favorite thing. It's just after a hard week or a long week, jumping in the car with my wife, sometimes my dog, sometimes our kid, and going for a trip an hour away, setting up this base camp, and just being away from it all for a minute.
Okay.
So
did you have to do a lot of work to it, or what did you have to do to get it camp worthy, Colorado worthy?
Yeah. Obvious stuff like a lift kit and bigger tires I did.
Okay.
These Series 70s are already geared down pretty well. They're running 410s already for gearing.
Oh, really?
Which isn't
It's just
bad.
like a Jeep.
Yeah. So it isn't bad at
Rubicon
all.
anyways, yeah.
And then, so the biggest thing was to remove the fire bed and the 400-pound pump that was connected to a PTO drive shaft to the transmission.
Yeah.
And this basically, the whole fire bed was built on spot. So you would find like welds that are buried under welds and other stuff. And so to figure out the maze or the puzzle of trying to disassemble this thing was a lot more of an undertaking than I thought.
What you would have thought of.
I thought, I just remove a couple bolts and it would come
drop
off.
it, it's going to be fine. Yeah.
Definitely not the case, but well worth it because it's just such a unique rig, and I love to be the steward of it at this point in its life.
Yeah.
And it only had 7,000 miles.
It was brand new.
Brand new.
Basically.
Brand new truck.
Very
and
nice.
Perfect condition.
So I see you left the siren and everything else on the top, and that's completely legal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, actually, the state patrol has to come out and assign you a VIN number. And they came out, and I asked them straight up. I was like, so what do you think? Is this, can I do this? It's like, oh, yeah, as long as you don't use it on any public roads, you can have it.
Oh, okay. Well,
so, hey, if you want, you can jump in the passenger seat, and there's a button on the floor.
Oh, is
Let
that what
sucker
went off?
rip.
I heard that
Yeah.
when I was filming in here. I'm like, what? Is there cops out there? That was
Yeah,
you.
That was me. Yeah.
That's super
when kids
cool.
go by, I
Yeah.
tell them there's a surprise.
Yeah. Go
sit
play
over
with
there.
that. That is super
And they
cool. I
do
like
that,
that.
and yeah.
Okay. So you got a rooftop tent.
Yep.
Who is that? CVT?
CVT, yeah.
Okay, that's
And I
good.
use their hybrid one, and the main reason why I decided to use it over other brands, which I did a lot of research on it,
Yeah.
is the hybrid has a roof rack on top of it already, and it's flat on top,
Yeah.
so I'm able to put my solar panels up there while I'm driving.
Okay.
Because I actually run an electric air conditioner in here, because this
All right.
doesn't have air conditioning.
Okay.
So in the spot where the pump used to sit, now sits an air conditioning unit.
Ah,
And it's powered from this massive battery pack I have back here in the back. I have over 6,000 watt hours of power,
Okay.
which is a lot for this truck, but
Right.
you need a lot to run air conditioning.
and I see you didn't make up your own battery system. You're running Blue Eddy.
You know, the reason why I decided to do that, my plan was to make my own system and do it all myself. But when I priced it out, this entire system is less than just that in batteries would have cost. Just batteries, not
Yeah.
any of the other stuff. And I was like, you know, even if I decide to go battery someday, I still have this for a home backup system
Yeah.
or whatever I want to use it for. So why not just do this?
No loss.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about that too. I was looking at Goal Zero because Goal Zero kind of makes the same kind of situation. So why did you go with Blue Eddy as opposed to Goal Zero, for example?
Well, the reason why is I love the way this system is expandable. So the head unit actually has no battery in it at all. It's
Okay.
just a 3,000 watt inverter, 2,400 watt solar charger. It's crazy. I'll never use that, of
Yeah.
course, that much power. It can charge directly from the truck already.
Yeah.
And the batteries are just separate batteries. But they have actually a couple little dongles and stuff you can plug into 12 volt stuff. You can't do anything but 12 volt on those.
Yeah.
But the reason why I decided is because it's such a modular system, I can actually do up to 4 of those battery packs just with this one system.
okay.
So I can
just
infinitely expand
grow it no matter
And
what.
again, like some of the companies you can link 2 together, but it's 2 of the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like, why do I want more of the same thing?
It's kind of clumsy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just repeating. You got 2 inverters now, 4
Exactly.
inverters as you keep adding. Okay.
Exactly.
So
And
this allows
eventually-
you to just get battery units themselves without. Okay.
Yes.
That makes
And
sense.
eventually, as I finish up this underbed part, I actually want to store the batteries underneath and just have the head unit up here.
Okay.
And so that way everything's tucked away and a little cleaner looking.
Very cool. I like this. I like this. I like having the bed on here. I like the fact that, you could put kayaks back here and you still got sleeping quarters up top, so you don't have to worry about, sometimes you've got a canopy on this, right? And then you're kind of limited to what you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like working out of a truck bed is tough, I've noticed, because you got to like get over the
Yes.
edge or,
Yeah,
slide
exactly.
stuff up, get
Yeah.
in the bed to
Yeah.
get to everything.
Yeah, because that's about 2 feet right there.
And
that
that's
you-
why I
yeah.
decided to do the flatbed system.
Nice and
And
open.
again, once I finish up this underneath part, there's going to be storage underneath for all of my recovery gear type of stuff.
Okay.
Everything I don't get to every day
Okay.
necessarily. I'll just tuck it away in here and I can lock it.
So are you a metal worker? Like, are you just going to do that yourself or what?
I do it myself, but I have very few skills, and it's just from practice, just
Okay.
practicing stuff. And
Just
you can
get out
tell
there,
now a
yeah.
lot of stuff isn't
Yeah.
very clean.
Yeah.
This part underneath the bed I've only been working on for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it was trying to rush it to get kind of more of the concept so people could see what I was doing
Yeah,
at the show.
absolutely. Yeah.
But I mean, my first kind of project was a 78 Suzuki GS 750, which I kind of made into a, cafe racer, resto mob, whatever you want to call it. And I just found a love for modding stuff myself because it makes me feel like it's mine. You know what I mean? I'm invested in it. I have, it's not just paying someone to do something, even though
Exactly.
the quality of the work isn't anywhere near
Yeah.
as good as it would be if I had
Labor
a
of love.
professional do it.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels just so, I don't know, it just makes me feel accomplished.
Yeah.
And when people like it, it feels even better to me
Yes.
because I did it myself.
Well, it's eye-catching. It's
Yeah.
eye-catching. I saw that, and you can see that from a distance, right? I'm like, what, is that a fire truck? I've never even seen one like that. So
Yeah.
absolutely amazing, and I like what you've done with it. I like the rooftop tent
Yes.
and the bat wing.
Yeah.
On it?
Yep. This is from Iron Man.
Okay.
It's their 270
Okay.
awning, and it's been great. Iron Man has really good prices,
Yeah.
and some people give them crap because, I don't know, they're not considered the high-end stuff, but this is great quality, and
Yeah.
honestly, it's my favorite thing I've bought for this truck because You know, these poles and stuff don't have to be down. It can be totally freestanding.
Oh, so it
and,
doesn't
you know,
need to be, okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about the support
Yeah.
doesn't have to be on there.
No.
It'll stand up by itself.
And these actually just fold up into to the arms, which is really cool. So you can deploy this thing in like 20 seconds.
All right.
And you have shade. So it's great. Like sometimes
cool.
for lunch, I just sit on the parking lot and sit in the shade.
Yeah, why not?
It's so convenient.
Yeah, you go camping, you set up real quick, you go mountain biking, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of your bike ride, you want to just set up a quick tent.
Got shade.
Yeah, you got shade.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
very
real
nice.
quick.
Okay. So what do we have over there? Some kind of little electric bike?
Yeah, that's
how does that?
one of my newest toys. It's a Talaria Sling.
Okay.
And this is just the funnest thing I've purchased in a long time. Because it'll do like 45, 50 miles an hour, top speed, has pretty good range, eco mode. It'll do a good 40, 45 miles in eco range. But it's light. And, you know, with the suspension from a mountain bike, basically, is what it is, you're really able to do a lot with it because it's so light. It's just really confidence inspiring, you know, opposed to like a big heavy motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so less intimidating.
Yeah.
But this thing rips.
All
I
right.
mean, the low end torque on this thing, if you give it more than a quarter throttle in sport mode,
it's gonna go.
it'll lift.
Okay.
It'll lift and like throw you off the bike.
Oh wow.
It's insane.
So where'd you get it from? Where do I buy it from? If I want to buy one, where do I get it?
So I actually got mine. They're really hard to find because they sell it really quick.
Okay.
And usually people don't bring that many in at once, you know, because obviously it's a big investment for them, especially with a product no one knows about.
Yep.
But I got mine from Amped Bikes. I believe they're out of Utah.
Okay. How much?
I think it was 4,200, and then shipping, tax, close to 5Gs.
Yeah, 5Gs. But
Yeah.
that's nice though. So how does that work in conjunction? It works in conjunction, I'm assuming, with your truck.
Yeah. Okay. Again, I'm kind of a weird guy. I went to Harbor Freight and I bought this little ratcheting hook system, and it's 130 pounds, so it's hard to lift up. I just put it on here, ratchet it up, put it up here, and then just basically, you know, like secure it down with some ties.
Oh wow! So
And then I just
you
have it
made
with
your
me.
own pulley system.
Yeah.
Okay, so this just straps onto the bike, and
Yep,
then you just
exactly.
kind of
This
suspend
goes
it.
right through the frame,
And it
around the
stays just
seat.
fine.
Yeah, stays just fine.
Okay,
Once I strap it down a little bit, you know, just put one strap around it. But
right.
yeah, it's solid.
very cool. So you've got an exhibit. Do you have a YouTube channel?
So my wife literally started me Instagram
Okay.
account
Yeah.
and a Facebook account on the
Okay.
way up here.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I've never actually done social media before, you know. So
But this is how you start, right?
yeah, this is how you
this is
start.
exactly how you start.
People always tell me, "Oh, Greg, you got to have one for your
Yeah,
truck."
you got to.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep. Put some stuff
I'll
out
get
there.
one.
Put some
But
stuff
you
out
know,
there.
seeing what you
Get a
guys are
YouTube
doing,
channel. I want to see
I know.
this on a YouTube channel. I want to follow the build. I want to see how it
I'm
goes.
hoping that maybe someday I'll start reviewing some of these really cool products I've bought over the years, and
Yeah,
you know.
do it. That's the whole point, because there's always somebody out there who's interested in what you're doing. So if you've got the time, take a picture.
I should
post
do
a video.
it. I should
And
do
that's
it.
about
I will get into it.
Yeah.
I've got my wife pushing me to really promise to
better
try
do
to
it.
make an effort to review some of these wonderful products that
Yeah,
I watched reviews on at
Yes.
one point to make
Because
my decision to buy.
we
them.
want to. There's no such thing as too much information, because everybody wants to know what everybody else thinks about something. Like, I want to know not what the manufacturer thinks. I want to know what
or someone who was paid or given the
by
bike
them.
for free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want
And-
that person who doesn't even have a YouTube channel. It's like, well, you don't have any masters or anything like that. So what do you think about this product, right? So definitely get out there and do it.
I will definitely do that, my
Greg,
friend. Thank you so much for
Thank
stopping
you.
by, guys.
What is your Instagram or your Facebook?
Oh, yeah, Akai Overland, AKI _Overland.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, we'll tag it in this video when we post this video, and that could be maybe one of your first videos.
Hey, man, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.